How's it going, everybody? If you've visited Reddit last week, you might have seen the complaint that the Jeonju Hero Fest apparently brought some extra input delay for some players. Since this would be huge if true, we did some investigating. The Reddit post did provide a few clips where input delay was shown, but not very much information around it. So let me explain what I tested first, then my findings, and then at the end my conclusion and why I need some help from you guys. What I did was take an overlay and compare the input from the controller or mouse keyboard to the in-game guard widget. I used guard swaps, but you can use things like dodges as well, for example. Now granted, these overlays are far from consistent, and on top of that, they aren't really made for this sort of thing in the first place. They don't have to be instant. Regardless, this way I should be able to tell if there is a significant delay between the overlay and the in-game action. If there is delay, you will see it on the overlay first and much later in-game. I did this in multiple modes and with different CPU loads, as this is what we assumed would cause the input delay. So the three different loads were around 50 to 60%, then around 75%, and at the end at full load. So here are the findings for my controller. Negative values mean that my in-game widget would show the action before the overlay did. There was a difference between low load and high, but not enough to conclusively say that there is a problem. Also not in a magnitude that would be game-changing. The frame here and there could be chalked down to overlay delay and recording errors. And then I did the same with keyboard and mouse. I used a different overlay tool for this, which immediately highlights what I said before. These tools aren't made for that, and it shows a significantly higher delay between in-game action and overlay. But those spikes go both ways. During higher load, I noticed that I had some CPU usage drops, where it would drop from 100 down to 60 for a second. And that is when I measured these big delays of 60 to 80 ms between in-game and overlay. Let me give a disclaimer here. The number of tests here aren't nearly enough, and neither is the testing environment consistent enough to draw any proper conclusions from this. I also doubt that this is something new that came with the Hero Fest, but has rather been here since pretty much forever. But I also couldn't replicate these consistent guard switch delays that the video in the Reddit thread has shown. A lot of people seem to be using PlayStation controllers, and since I do not own a PS4, I tried my PS3 one, but that didn't really work out, because that thing broke after all those years of no use. But I digress. So, what do I need from you guys now? If you think you are experiencing this, and please be somewhat sure that you are, I understand that it is a convenient excuse, but I doubt it is as universal as some make it out to be. If you could post in a comment down below what platform you use and what controller. And if you are on PC, please include how your controller is connected and what software you use. FreeWSD, DS for Windows, or whatever else. And then when you experience this. All the time, only in certain modes, on certain maps, when your PC gets extra loud, when you have a frame dip. We need a little more to go on to continue testing. Otherwise it will just be a Sisyphean task. I'm still not quite convinced this affects as many people as some claim, nor that it is actually a new issue with the game, as I said before. So yeah, please share whatever information you deem important. We will continue testing, and should we find something a little more conclusive, we'll obviously report it to Ubisoft. For now, thank you all for the information, and also thanks for watching. Laters everybody.